Move to talk markets now. Is that time where we look at markets review for the week. My colleague Effiong Ekop is already in the studio. Effiong, how's it going? The market is not closing the week on a very good note.
Today it's down again. It was down yesterday. It wraps up the way it's the negative. It's just about profit taking and markets reviewing its movement, adjusting or readjusting, indices to show the way that monies are getting out of investment portfolios. This is even the season that many people, want to move in to sell their stocks to meet up for December expenditure. So any moment we begin to see some levels of loadment, on those who have large quantities of stocks, yes. So there's nothing wrong with the market. The fundamentals of trading companies, very, very good. We see great attention going to banking securities, telecom services, the companies that offer, they also take attention from investors. Manufacturing companies that from the beginning of the year, they have been, taking our sympathy.
Yeah, of course. So considering the larger economic situation.
That is it. So if you talk about the financial market, I think they are really, very strong, doing well, taking care of everything. We are expecting that particular sector, I'm talking of the financial market, should be able to satisfy the needs of majority of their shareholders at the end of the closing period, which is next month, when the industry record would have to round up, their transactions and show the registers to the Central Bank of Nigeria and even the markets. So that's what we expect. Everything points to that direction, that some of they will. Many of the big banks, they have even developed these penchants of playing outside the shores of Nigeria. Mm-hmm. Some of them stay in as many as 10, 12, 15 African countries. And so as much as they can, they have to take some kind of advantages or resources or level of profits from those countries back, to their head offices. And that means their books will rise, and you see figures. They have been doing it. Yeah. I have in mind UBA, I have Access, First Bank. A number of them, they are doing very well in many other African countries.
People are already projecting for 2025 now, already putting their money where their mouth is. What are you thinking ahead?
To look 2025, if we go by what the central bank is telling us, we will still look very well to the financial market. That's when we will also see many of them trying to keep up with the recapitalization tendency. And then insurance markets too, they are coming up. So some of them are really weak because of the crisis that have happened in the economy since 2019 when we had the COVID.
Yeah.
Insurance markets, they have come under pressure. Many of even the collapsed buildings that we've had in the hinterland.
Yeah, that's true.
People go to them, to seek succor for, surviving. And so then they flood. So there is still pressure coming from that. Then, pensioners wanting, to stay afloat. Those of them holding annuity with some of them. Yeah. There is pressure. But combining the insurance market with the banks, I think they will appear to be the go-to area that wants to lift the markets, in 2025.
I must thank you so much, Ekop, for your time as usual. Do enjoy your weekend.
It's my pleasure, Tony.
Well, gold looks set for its largest weekly gains in over 13 months on Friday as escalating geopolitical tensions drove investors to save assets, while the tech rebound led Asian equities higher after worries over Nvidia's sales growth eased. Now, futures indicated European bourses were set for a muted open, with Euro Stock 50 futures up 0.21%, German DAX futures 0.17% higher, FTSE futures climbing 0.535%. In Asia, chip maker stocks inched after Nvidia touched a record high in U.S. trade on solid earnings, and win shares of in Taiwan is rising 1.5%, and South Korea getting about 1%. The Nikkei advanced 0.8%. Disappointing corporate earnings weighed on sentiment in China. However, the blue chip CSR 300 index was down 1.6%. Hong Kong Hang Seng slid 1.75%. European stocks were also headed for a fifth weekly drop, while world stocks are up 1% this week. U.S.